Hey everybody, welcome back to my basement. It's Thursday, March 19th, 2020, and we're going to do a flea market find segment. This is actually a pick that happened out in Worcester, Massachusetts a couple of weeks ago. This was an interesting pick. It was off of Facebook Marketplace. The original ad was just a box, a large, good-sized cardboard box chock full of high-speed steel end mills, which I had no interest in. In fact, it was a box of just random loose end mills, and the asking price was $125, which I thought, well, good luck with that. So, just for the heck of it, though, I reached out, sent a quick message in it, and said, any other Machinist tools, because it was a fairly new post. So my theory was maybe he's got some other stuff he hasn't gotten around to listing yet. And lo and behold, he got right back to me. He said, yeah, matter of fact, I've got a few boxes full of tools, Machinist tools that I'm probably going to be selling, calipers and things like that. So we made an arrangement. I went out, checked it out, and first he brought me into the house and he showed me the calipers, four 6-inch dial, 4 6-inch calipers, various types. We'll get to those in a moment. And then we went out to the shed in the back of the house where he showed me a Craftsman roller toolbox base that I had no interest in, but the tools in it were good. A Kennedy 2-drawer riser and a small Kennedy top box, also with all tools in it. Went through everything, kind of went back and forth. End result was decided best thing to do would be to buy all the toolboxes, and a bucket of tools that was on the floor next to it was included, and buy the whole shebang, all the contents, and paid good amount of money for this one, over $400 for this. But I think when you guys see everything that's in this haul, you'll probably agree that it's a pretty good deal. You know what we'll do? Why don't we lead right into that video of the Kennedy base, the Craftsman roller base that I bought that I didn't want. I actually have it still. I kept it because I swapped it out with the other one. Well, take a look at that video. Alright, so welcome to another Flea Market Finds episode. This is a pick. I just actually got this today. Today is March, 6th? 7th? I don't know. Anyways, I picked this in Worcester and didn't even know what was there for Machinist tools. He just said he had Machinist tools. Made an appointment, went out there, and ended up finding he had this Craftsman base loaded with tools and a Kennedy 2-drawer riser and a small Kennedy top box. And I bought the whole shebang, even though I really didn't want this this Craftsman base, this roller. Not that I have anything against these. This is an older one. The older ones have this like box, almost like channel construction, which makes them a lot more rugged than the newer ones, I think. Anyways, so my plan was, it's gonna rain. My plan was to just take this off the truck, get it underneath the tent in the backyard there just to get it out of the rain, and advertise it immediately and put it up for sale, because I already have one of these and I actually have more Kennedys than I need right now, so it didn't make sense to keep this at all. However, it just occurred to me when I looked at the other Craftsman that I have, which is almost identical to this, except instead of being a 5-drawer, it's got less drawers and it's got that little cubby deal in the bottom there, and it actually physically looks like it's in better condition than this one. This has got a dent right here that I could probably fix. I have the key for it, so it's actually a decent box. But I think the 5 drawers, even though I might not keep this very long, is more versatile than what I've got down there now. So I'm going to swap that one down there out. So here's the one I got. I don't even remember where I got this, but I've had this for quite some time now, and I had it over here by the lathe, and I was using it for, believe it or not, some of the tooling for the lathe was in here. Well, there's the key. I might only have one key for this one. My chucks. It's kind of empty now. In here I had This was all full of the CA sized holders. I had
Isn't that
quite a few of them. What, this?
No.
No, it's not for the dirt bike. That's those are hold downs.
No.
Studs for a hold down. Oh, what's this doing in here? Jeez. Forgot that was in there.
What is it?
It's a magnetic holder. I meant to sell this. Oh well. We'll sell it tonight. Alright, so we're going to swap this one out and we're going to put the other one in its place. But this is actually very similar construction to that other one. We turn it. We turn it on the side there. See, it's got that box construction, the same handle. This has got to be the same vintage as the one upstairs. Now, we can't switch out the drawers because you see there's a cabinet on the bottom.
Yeah, I thought
so we would just throw the drawers in there and they would just lay there if they would fit. They wouldn't slide in and out. I like drawers that slide. Watch this. See this? This is a feature they invented on toolboxes now.
But it's not opening it.
Where they slide. Alright, so now that we have both of them out here side by side, we can see that they are in fact the same cabinets except for the drawer layout. This has got 3 drawers in the cabinet bay down below, and this has got 5 drawers, but I mean, the way it's made, the way the handle looks, it's the same cabinet, almost. So, that gave Aiden a good idea. It's the first one, it's actually, he gets one a year, and this is the one he had, which is that I should take the dented drawer out of that one that I'm keeping and swap it with the undented drawer in this one so that I have the creme de la creme of cabinets over there. So if it's not too hard to do, we'll do that. Voila! Dented drawer on the cellar and the beautiful drawer on the keyboard. Alright, so now we're all caught up on the roller bases. Let's jump right into the meat and potatoes of the pick, the actual tools themselves. We're going to start off easy. Let's go through this bucket that I barely looked at, but I took because I saw the handle of a Lixie hammer sticking out of it. And he said it was included anyway. So, and there was one other key piece that was in that bucket. So this 5-gallon pail of it was formerly used for mobile XL46 hydraulic oil is chock full of random hand tools. But it was sitting on the floor next to the rolling toolbox, and I almost didn't even notice it at first. This scale, or what I thought was a scale, was stuck in this box, sticking up out of it. And what this is, so I looked at it real quick and I was like, oh, that's a 36-inch scale, satin chrome finish, pretty nice. And then I went, oh, that's a LS Starrett 36-inch scale. And I thought, oh, that's even nicer. And then I flipped it over and I went, oh, now that's a combination square blade, 36-inch Starrett combination square blade. That is a hell of a find. I love it, love it, love it. I think I picked up an 18 or a 24-inch a little while back and thought that was the bee's knees. But now I got myself a 36-inch. It's in excellent condition. So like I said, after I took that out, I considered leaving this for a moment, and then I was like, no, you know what? It's included. I'm paying for it. Might as well. And the other thing was I had spotted a handle in here that looked like a Lixie, and I think he said there's actually a couple of them in there. So what we got here is, well, that's actually a Williams C-clamp. That's a pretty good one. I thought these were all Chinese, but that's Chinese. Another one USA. It's an Armstrong. Okay. Chinese. Chinese. And that's no markings, but by the looks of it, that screams import Chinese 5-inch. Oh, how about that? Didn't even see these in there. Or did I? Yeah, I think maybe I did see these. I pulled these out, I think, out of the roller base. A couple of can't twist clamps.
For those of you who aren't familiar with those are Kant twist clamps. They're spelled K-A-N-T. And they are probably some of the nicest clamps to use for setup as far as welding goes. And they're pretty pricey, so when you can pick them up used, cheap, and I mean like between $5 and $10 a piece, and the larger the clamp, of course, the more expensive they get. Obviously, T-slot nut, T-nut, and random hunk of aluminum. Needle nose pliers, but you know what? They're Craftsman USA. Stanley screwdriver. This style's nice because it has the place where you can put a wrench on for extra torque. We got some random opening wrenches here. We got cheap India, 17mm Craftsman. Some more random, well, that's Chinese, India. Oh, look at that. Brand new 1.5" Lixie face. Red means tough, so that's a red one. Another Craftsman wrench. Little file. Got this little tray of stuff we'll set aside. We'll look at that. Look at that momentarily. These are genuine channel lock pliers. Oh, that's interesting. So we get a countersink that's been mounted to a very long shaft, but then the end of the shaft is turned to a point. And this is just a piece of hollow tubing. I wonder if this was, I wonder what the purpose of this, I wonder if this stuff was all together for some reason. Oh, this is one of those Craftsman ratchets that I think has the fine teeth in it. Might be wrong. Yeah, there's a Craftsman hex drive on there. Be nice if there's a full set of those. Diamond brand. Well, let's see what else we get here. Two pairs of vice grips. All right, so we got one pair of genuine vice grip brand vice grips. Those are the good ones. Always nice to get a pair of those. And then these here are unmarked except for, they say Sears. So these would be, as opposed to being Craftsman, these would be just like the lower, I guess the lower brand tool. Doesn't say anything else on it though. Yeah. Alright, a gaggle of screwdrivers. Stanley, unknown. These are all Stanleys. That's probably a Stanley. And a master mechanic. Get this pair of scissors out of here before I stab myself with them. Jackson, Taiwan wrench. Craftsman Vanadian 12-inch adjustable wrench. It's not bad. Ah, here's the Lixie hammers that I saw the handles of. Oh, that handle's pretty bad. This one's good. Ah, now we're cooking. Look at that. Nice big tap handle. This is a number 6. This is a GT&D, so that would be a Greenfield tap and die. It's a little bit interesting. This says Sorin. It says GT&D Sorin. I think that's a Sorin. I think that's an S. Something somebody stamped it S and H on both sides. That's probably a company, maybe. But anyways, still works good. That's a nice tap handle. File, file, file. Hacksaw blade. Actually, complete set. Can't make out any brand name on it though. Allen wrench set. Here's a little set of wrenches in a little holder here. These are Globe Master number 60310 India. Cheap set. Taiwan. Oh my. Look at this fly cutter somebody made. Just a big aluminum bar. They weld it on to an aluminum shaft. And then only one cutter still in it, but I'm sure the intent originally was to have probably one on each side. So they just got a lathe tool in there with a radius on it. Oh, this would probably really give you some excitement in your shop. Diamond. Forged USA. No hammering, no extensions. Oh, thanks for the warning. Not familiar with that brand, but it's USA. These are just like, these look like something maybe somebody just made up to stick in the vise, down between your vise jaws so parts don't fall down maybe, I don't know. Ah, looks like a Vargas deburring tool. Oh, what's the extendable? Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Always nice to have those. Another file. Another one of these aluminum. Another one of these rods made up for something. Hey, another Craftsman metric wrench, 15 millimeter. Nice ball peen hammer. I mean nice because it's a nice size. I actually don't see a maker's name on this. Just says wear safety goggles A7D. I wonder if that's wear safety goggles A7D. Pair of needle nose pliers in good shape but completely unmarked by any maker's mark. Same thing with these. These have been around the block. It's interesting. Slip joint pliers, clearly marked Stanley tool, 84-106, but on the back here, Japan. I wonder what era that would be from, that Stanley was having pliers made in Japan. Another full set. Also, no markings, so I wonder if one of these is metric and one's standard. Air tool, air gun. Better grip. Better spelled B-E-T''R. 8-inch forged steel. Manufactured by the J.P. Danielson Company of Jamestown, New York, USA. That's got to be an early one, huh? I thought both of those... see, that's just... that doesn't have the ball end on it, so that's just a random Allen wrench. And what we got here? This is, of course, the most popular metric wrench ever, the 10 millimeter. Craftsman. Oh, not just any old tape measure. 25-foot Starrett tape measure. And an extension with a... I can't make out the brand on this. Some kind of damn... Well, that is weird. Now, see, that caught my eye. Metrinch, M-E-T-R-I-N-C-H. This socket supposedly is both 9/16 and 14 millimeter. So it's got a weird profile to it. The extension is a ADAP made in Japan, which isn't ADAP, isn't that an old car parts store? But I'll tell you what's interesting about this extension. You see what's interesting about it? It's got flats on the top part here. Which I wonder if that's small enough to fit in the drill chuck, because that would be, for those of you who saw my video on my crankshaft adapter, this might actually be better if it fits. Nah, not even close. Way too big to fit in the chuck of my hand drill. All right, I'm going to grab a couple of things out of the bottom of the bucket here, and we'll go through these. All right, just going to try and zip through these trays real quick, and we'll probably close out this episode right here after we finish these trays. 98019 inch, made in the USA, little portable Allen wrench set. Chesco, not familiar with that company. US made though. Here is a center drill. Somebody made a holder, be able to put a center drill in a big shank. Here's another little Allen wrench key set. This is a no name. We got a few more assorted hold down set pieces, but no complete hold down set. You know, T-nuts. Another one of these metal things here. Oh, look at that. There's a nice little boring bar. Oh, that's a Hardinge. Hardinge Special BF62TR. That's a nice little diamond in the rough right there. It's even got a, what looks to be a decent carbide insert still in it. Oh, I like that. A whole bunch more Allen wrenches, just random ones here. A lot of these have the ball tip on them, which makes me think maybe there was another one of those plastic holders somewhere that these went in. Just all Allen wrenches. Teflon tape. I don't think I'm ever going to have to buy Teflon tape again in my life. It seems like every so often I just come across a toolbox that has some more. Another little hold down with some washers. There's an interesting little hold down there. I wonder what that came off of. See the shape to it? A little bit different. Air fittings. Nipple, nozzle. This is interesting. This looks like the tip for an air gun, but either there's no hole in it or the hole's so small I can't see it. I don't get it. Oh, okay. It's got like little tiny slots around the edge here. It's almost like a diffuser. Another one of those India wrenches. It's a big Woodruff key. Another fitting. Another air gun nozzle. Another key. Hey, see this little funny little adjustable wrench? Might not look like anything at first glance, but this is actually a Crescent brand 4-inch adjustable wrench. Crescent is to adjustable wrenches what Band-Aid is to adhesive strips. Indicator. These are for attaching indicators to various holders. And look at that. That looks like a stare at last word adapter. Don't know what that is. Hose clamp, bolt. These wrenches look eerily familiar, but I can't, at the moment, I can't place what they're for. Does anybody know? It's an interesting, oh, it's just a piece of all thread with a nut on it. A bushing or collar. A little adjustable thumb screw. This looks like it might have been off an old indicator stand or something, maybe. And one of these square or tri-sided reamers that I've found over the years, a lot of these style. Another Allen wrench. See what we got here. Hold down, hold down, hold down. Oh, I'm getting excited. I see something. More of these metal things. Looky here. Another hose clamp. 1, 2, 3. Yep, stops at 3. Not 1, not 2, but 3 screw jacks, and they all look like they might be Starrett. Well, they're not marked, but that doesn't mean anything. They could still be early Starrett screw jacks. Well, there's some big honking center drills there. Pretty good size ones. There's a random socket, but it's an SK. Good brand. Ah, here we go. Here's an R8 to... Ah, okay, this must be for slitting saws. I assume it's for slitting saws because it has very, very, very small steps. So this would be, so you could use multiple sized slitting saws, I guess. That's kind of neat. So these must come out and you use what you need. Or do they? I don't know. I've never seen one like that. Huh. All right. Hey, a call stop. Looks like 5C. Nice long one. Oh, I think I'll keep that. Oh, look at this. A much newer looking deburring rod with a very neat deburring carbide that looks brand new on it. And it looks like a Vargas. If it is, it should be interchangeable with this well-used one. Bet you it is. Oh yeah, winter chicken dinner. Fits right in there. Somebody had a bandsaw. Or broach. Wait a minute, I wonder if this is for broaching. Another collar, another hold down nut, another air fitting, and all. Tiny drill bit, another one of these random rods. Hunk of aluminum with a point on it. Ah, and a little number 2 Armstrong or Cleveland wedge for driving out tapers. I don't know what these were for. Huh. Last box. This little tiny stuff here. We got these are for screwing into the end of one of those air guns. Give you a real fine stream of air there. A couple of different sizes. Here's yet a couple more. And another one. And another one. Another one of this style. Another air fitting. This is a gauge block. It's got a number 1 right on it there. And the only other markings are a part number, 50109. Yeah, it's a 1-inch gauge block. That number doesn't Google to anything, so I don't know what it is. As far as manufacturer, I guess I just have to go with my orphan gauge blocks. We got some ball bearings here, we've got some nails, and we've got either a gauge pin or a dowel pin. This is a gauge pin, 0.4375 plus. So that'll go with my orphan gauge pins. And then last but not least, all right, registered trademark. What sports team is that? Is that, looks like an N with a D. So, but you could kind of make an I out of that too. Is this the Indianapolis Colts? Anybody know? I don't know. I don't want it. All right, we'll call this part 1 a wrap. Unless this ends up during editing, if it gets really long, it'll probably be part 2. All right, I hope you guys are enjoying this. Please hit the like button, and if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing.